Hi, this is Kathy Quinn with Floriani. Floriani is a division of R&K Distributing, and I want to welcome you to this week's Project of the Week. Well, we've got Father's Day coming, and it's time to think of gifts. And Marty Sandel's blog that's coming is absolutely a perfect gift for just about any man. So we're going to look about monogramming a tie. Now, you can purchase a tie, or there's a lot of patterns available on the market if you want to make your own tie, whether it's a tie that's elegant that you've purchased that they're wearing to a business meeting, or whether it's a fun tie for some other function, a beach party or something that's just supposed to be fun that you might want to create yourself. So we're going to look at how did Marty do this. Now, the first thing we need to do is take a picture of the tie, because I'm going to tell you scanning images is old school. Your cell phones take a better picture of something than scanning it. And I'm going to teach you how to work with that picture. So what we're going to do is we are going to take a picture either with your cell phone, your camera, and go ahead and import it into your computer and leave that picture on the desktop. Now, the picture is going to come in as a JPEG. So as a JPEG, it is a backdrop file. It is not artwork. Remember, we like working with artwork because it is a vector file. It's clean and perfect when we are going to turn that artwork into stitches. But in this case, we're using it as a backdrop so we can superimpose our design over the front of it and see how it fits and looks. So when we're going to import artwork, we're going to come over on our left-hand toolbar and we are going to use our load backdrop icon right here. So I'm going to left mouse click. I've put it on my desktop and I happen to know it's image 3817 because I just put it there. I could have changed the name so it would have said tie. Now when I click on it, if I didn't remember which one it was, notice you get a preview of what you have, what that image is. If I click on Cowboys, you will see it's a wonderful Cowboys logo. I guess you know who I'm loyal to. But we're going to come back to our tie image and we are going to open it on screen. Now here's the thing about this. When I took this picture, I did not know, I don't want all of this. You don't want this background. You only want this to know the actual width of your tie. So to do that, we measure the tie across the front of it to see what does our tie measure. Now this tie happens to measure, now I can tell you I've got it laying on a grid just so you understand. 1, 2, 3, about 3 3/4 is the width of this tie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right mouse click on my image. I'm getting my little problem with using that little drawing program I use. If I hold my right mouse click too long, it engages my drawing. Now I'm going to right mouse click and I'm going to go to define scale. Now notice it says this is a 48.01 inches wide, which is craziness. So I'm going to tell it to define the scale. I'm going to hold down my left mouse key and drag this straight across. Now when I let go, it's asking me how wide is this? Well, we just determined that this was 1, 2, 3 3/4, so 3.75 inches. Okay. So now that is the size, the actual width of my tie. So now I'm going to fit that to screen. Now it's still saying the width is 7.32 because it's counting in all of this white, but all I care is that my tie has been represented in the correct size. So now that I've got that there, I'm just going to leave it as a backdrop. So now what I want to do is I want to add a monogram to this. So what we're going to do is we are going to come up here to our M on our upper toolbar. M stands for monogram. We're going to left mouse click on that. And notice I have an A stuck to my cursor, so I know that I am monogramming. So I'm just going to left mouse click on screen to activate my monogram. And we are going to go ahead here And what Miss Marty did is she did D-A-D. Now, once we've done that, we want to pick the monogram we're going to use. Now, Marty chose monogram 1. It looks very nice on the tie. Of course, this is all personal preference. Now, notice if you hover over, it's going to give you the recommended maximum height and minimum height of a design, both in inches and millimeters. So we should never have this design taller than 4 inches. It tells us that. But for this exercise, Marty's already done it. She made hers 1.5, an inch and a half tall was her monogram. Now she gave her spacing 5 because she wanted a little bit more space in between those letters. Now notice, anytime you have a monogram, when you look at the picture, you notice like these don't have anything around them. But when I get to monogram 1, notice how it's got some kind of shape around it. That means that that monogram has decor available, which means if I wanted to put some kind of frame around it or put the leaves on the ends, whatever, I have got decor that has been digitized to match the font. I believe we've got 14 in here that give you extra decor to add to those. So we are going to leave this today. We're not going to add any decor, but I wanted you to notice where it was. Now, somehow, I've lost everything here. I don't know what I did, but because I went to another monogram to show you. And slant. I don't want any slant on this monogram. I want it nice and straight up and down. So there we go. And I'm going to pick a little bit lighter color just so you can see it well. So now I've got... I did not apply. Remember, if you don't apply, it doesn't happen. So let's go through this again. Since Kathy didn't apply it, we're going to go to monogram 1 right here. Again, I'm going to make this 1.5. We're going to do Dad here, D-A-D. We're going to give our spacing 5, no slant, the width is fine, and we are going to apply. Remember, nothing is real until you apply it. There we go. So now that we've got this, I can, because I have the tie behind me, I can plant this and look at it and say, does that look good? I love it. It looks perfect. Now we're going to look at how are we going to stitch this out. Now Marty also suggested I might want to put that a little higher, or I just might want to add a symbol to it. So I could come in here to my symbols, and I could come pick a symbol to go on this as well. Dad's a basketball buff. I could put a basketball on it. We could go on down if I was going to do a nautical tie. So you can see there's lots and lots of options in here to put on this tie for Dad. So you get the idea. We could bring in any one of these if we wanted. I could bring in a fish. Dad's a fisherman. So you can see you've got lots and lots of options in here to play with. So I might want to bring in, let's just bring in this turkey. Dad's going to be a turkey today. So I've got the turkey. I can, if I don't apply it, it's not real. Apparently me and applying today are not all with us. But we're not going to get picky. We're going to go for the sun. Let's go for the sun. I have picked my sun. There we go. And I'm just going, now notice when I do this, I can make this whatever size. I can rotate it. So any of these images, and just so you know, until I change, that symbol remains on my cursor. So I could come in here. Now that I'm done, I'm going to select. I'm going to come over to the left-hand toolbar and select. And I could come in here and add a sun to this. So you see we could do a lot with this. Now we know that we don't want the suns for this one or the airplane. So I'm going to come in here into my sequence view. Let's close our property so you can see it easily. I'm going to click first on the plane to select it, holding my shift key. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom and select all of this. Then I'm going to delete, and I'm left with my dad. Now that I've fixed it like I want it, we're happy with this. Now what we're going to do is we are going to print out a template, because when we stitch this out, Marty's going to have you hoop your Floriani Perfect Stick Stabilizer. You're going to stick your tie down, tape it in place so that it doesn't shift or move. But then you're going to take your template tearaway and place it on your tie, and that way when you line up your machine, you can make sure your dad is going to stitch exactly where you expected it. So let's look at our print preview. We'll go to File, Print Preview. What I love about our print preview is our settings. Now in this case, I want to see actual size. I don't need to see the hoop, but I certainly need to see the crosshairs, and I personally like the thick crosshairs. I want to see the stitches. I don't care about the design colors because obviously it's going to be just one. And of course we can always title this, and this is Dad's Father's Day Tie. And that way that is going to print on the template too. Sometimes we think we're going to remember what we did. Chances are we're not. Now I could go ahead and tell it to also print the artwork in the background, so it would print out the tie. I don't see any point in wasting ink on this one because this is a very simple exercise. So when I say okay, notice how it's changed. It now has my crosshairs. It says, tells me up here, this is Dad's Father's Day tie, tells me the width, the height, tells me I'm using one color, and my stitches are 1,460. So now I'm ready to print, so I would go ahead and print out this template. Once the template is printed, you'll go to Marty's blog. She'll show you exactly how she's hooped. Then you will place your template tearaway on top of your tie so that you can make sure that you have got it in the exact place that you want it. Remember to put a topper on this. This will take water-soluble topping. Go ahead and stitch out your tie. Once you've lined it up, of course, you remove your template tearaway or it gets to be yours forever. So we look forward to lots of dads wearing wonderfully monogrammed ties. And remember, you can also audition here. Do I want this to be a high contrast color? Do I want it to be tone on tone? Now it's a little bit hard for me to have tone on tone with the tie that I selected from my husband's closet here. But you can see that you could audition different colors. Well, obviously that was too dark. So you could come through and audition different colors till you found the color that looked the best with that tie's background. So I look forward to seeing you again next week. I hope you enjoy your Father's Day tie, and we look forward to seeing you again. Have a great week.